Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel. Here in this video, we have all of your Tesla stock breaking news. And of course, what's going on in our markets today. Anthony Lewandowski, who co-created Google's Waymo, says Tesla has a huge advantage in data in the self-driving race. He says, quote, "I'd rather be in Tesla's shoes than Waymo's shoes. Tesla already has cars on the road, some of which use semi-autonomous features for tasks such as parking and lane switching, and learning all the while. Musk has the greatest fleet to do this," he says. There's millions of Teslas out there that are constantly alerting, feeding back their data to Tesla to make the product better. And that's ultimately what's really going to be the differentiator here. That you have the richest, most consistent data to continuously improve over time, Lewandowski said. I would say that Tesla has examples of maybe 10,000 or more, or maybe 1,000,000 times more data than Waymo does in terms of all other scenarios of driving. You'd almost think he works at Tesla, but he's certainly not wrong. Data is the most important aspect of full self-driving. Without the data, you will not create full self-driving. It's also being reported that Tesla has officially received approval to proceed with the first stage of its Giga Berlin expansion plans, which will see the facility's production capacity more than double to 1 million cars a year, making it the largest automotive factory in the country. Lucid Motors partners with Four Seasons to provide air sedans and EV chargers. Beginning this fall, guests at select Four Season properties in the US will have access to complimentary Lucid Air electric vehicles during their stay. BMW CEO says Europe must cancel its petrol engine ban to reduce reliance on China. He said, quote, "Europe must cancel its plan to ban new fossil fuel emitting cars from 2035 to reduce reliance on China's battery supply chain and play to its technological strengths." But it is being reported that the EU is sticking to its plan to ban the sale of new petrol-driven cars starting in 2035, despite heavy pressure from legacy automakers to ease rules. Except for Renault, all major European automakers have issued profit warnings this year. Volkswagen is considering shutting plants in Germany for the first time in its 87-year history, they said last month. Nissan has announced that their EVs will officially get access to over 18,000 Tesla superchargers throughout North America this quarter in Q4 of 2024, improving the charging experience for every Nissan EV owner. In 2025, Nissan will begin offering EVs for the US and Canadian markets with the NACS port. It's also being reported that Chile has now opened their first Tesla supercharger. It's also being reported that DHL has tested the Tesla semi-truck and confirms the electric truck's impressive performance. Dan Ives says he's even more bullish after Tesla's robotaxi event. Elon Musk also confirms that the Tesla semi-truck will be available worldwide. It is also being reported that the robotaxi will have 4680 cells. Only about 800 or so of them. And Elon Musk does agree with Waymo's co-founder that Elon Musk has a massive data advantage over Waymo. And it is being confirmed that Tesla China insured 8,500 cars last week, which that is more than this same week in 2022 when we only registered 7,500, and this week in 2020. Or that was 2023. And this week in 2022, we only registered 1,700 cars. So this is a 3-year high. It is also being reported that Ashok Alaswamy has been promoted to Vice President of AI Software at Tesla. He has been with the company for nearly 11 years. And for the past 5.5 years, he has served as the Director of Autopilot Software. Here on the day today, Tesla's stock is trading higher by about 0.63%. You're currently above $220 per share. That's great news. You're almost at $221 per share at the time of recording this video. The longer we stay above 220 and the higher we get above 220, the better off Tesla will be from a technical perspective. You can also see on this trend line, you're still holding the bullish uptrend as long as we stay above 220. If you start to break down from here, that's where you start to break some of the bullish trends, and that would not be favorable. Tesla's MACD line is negative 2.01. Tesla's signal line is positive 2.64. After the last couple of days of stabilization, I expect you start to see the MACD try to curl upwards. If we can get a couple good days under our belt for Tesla, then you will see the MACD line go positive again. And then if it breaks the signal line, then we're off to the races again. And the relationship between the MACD line and the signal line tends to work out pretty well. When you break above that and especially go positive, tends to lead to large rallies. So that's something I will be watching very closely. Now, also from a technical standpoint, you are still above your downtrending line of resistance. The line in which every time you got to this line, it seems like you would fall. Well, looky here, Tesla stock is holding support at both of these critical junctions. And what do you think that means? As long as markets can hold up or not fall in any kind of material way, it looks like the path of least resistance is still higher for Tesla stock, which is what stocks tend to follow, is the path of least resistance. We do have some very important economic data coming out tomorrow, as well as earnings, and that could be a major catalyst for our markets, but we'll talk about that more in the next video. Option activity today in Tesla stock is definitely on the light side. You have seen 27 different trades totaling $8 million with a positive order value of 43%. Tesla's short interest of free float sits at 2.67%. You have $16.31 billion currently sold short in Tesla stock, totaling 74.29 million shares. You can see today you have return shares of 514,000, borrowed shares of 306,000. That means today you're actually seeing about 208,000 shares that are being covered on, which is likely helping Tesla stock to move higher today. Other broader market news today, U.S. import prices plummet, signaling a brighter inflation prospect ahead. U.S. import prices fell 0.4% in September, marking the largest decline in 9 months, driven by lower energy and food costs. This drop comes after a revised 0.2% decrease in August. Year over year, import prices dipped 0.1%, a shift from the previous 0.8% increase. And we do have some bad news. Mortgage applications plummeted 17% last week as mortgage rates surged, according to data from the Mortgage Bankers Association weekly application survey for the week ending October 11th, 2024. And a lot of that has to do with 30-year fixed mortgage rates ticking up to 6.52% last week in the MBA survey, the highest in at least a month. I do think one of the big upside potentials or upside surprises for next year for economic activity will be if homes start to be sold more and bought more. If we start to see real estate transactions actually pick up, then a lot of equity could be captured and people will have more money in their bank accounts and there will be more spending. A lot of people's net worths are associated in their homes, and a lot of people have not bought or sold a home in the last couple of years. So there's a lot of equity in homes. If people start to sell homes, then that could really boost consumer spending behaviors. But so far, we're really just not seeing that uptick. And of course, it has to do with mortgage rates being just still unaffordable to purchase a home. I do think real estate prices could be under pressure soon if we see rates stay as high as they are, because the amount of homes listed for sale is up about 300% from January, February, and March of 2022, going from 350,000 homes being listed to over 940,000 homes being listed. That's a huge increase, and you have not seen demand pick up to buy a home. What happens when there's more supply, less demand? Prices fall. Real estate doesn't move quickly, but it does look like the trend for home prices is down. And that won't be good either. It's the same way as when gas prices spike, people tend to spend less money. Well, when home prices fall, people tend to spend less money as well. Here on the day today, the NASDAQ is slightly in the red, down 0.09%. S&P is up 0.25%, and the Dow is up 0.5%. The Russell 2000 is yet again the big winner, up over 1.5% today, and the VIX is falling 2.5%, down to 20.12, which is still very elevated for stocks, pretty much sitting at all-time highs. 10-year treasury yields are falling 2 basis points today, which is likely helping to give the Russell 2000 a little bit of a boost. And oil is falling about 2 cents a barrel, which is really not a big deal in the grand scope of things. It's not a big fall, but it's not a rise either. Over on StockTwits, sentiment for Tesla stock is coming in bullish at 56. Yesterday, it was bullish at 66, so a little bit less bullish today, but still looks good overall. Message volume is normal at 48. Yesterday, it was normal at 51. Participation ratio is high at 55. The percent of stocks today trading above their 50-day moving average is up to 69.35%. You have about 4.5% of stocks breaking above that 50-day moving average today, which markets look like they're in a pretty good place as far as that's concerned. CNN's Fear and Greed Index is coming in at 69, which yesterday you were at 70 and 1 week ago you were at 71. So moving down a little bit today, which is actually interesting considering you have that big outperformance from the Russell 2000. The market momentum indicator, extreme greed; stock price strength, extreme greed; stock price breadth, extreme greed; put and call options, greed; market volatility, neutral; safe haven demand, extreme greed; junk bond demand is moving into fear territory today. The latest AI investor sentiment survey shows bullish investors at 49.0%, neutral investors at 30.4%, and bearish investors at 20.6%. Tesla's inventory levels moving higher a little bit for the Model Y, up to about 7,700. The Model 3 is moving down a little bit to 4,900. Model X moving up to 3,300, and the Model S staying pinned down here at about 2,100. And Tesla continues to run about 4,000 different ads with Google. Google Trends data for the Tesla lineup continues to show an up move for the Model Y going from 21 to 24, the Model 3 going from 20 to 21, the Model S going from 9 to 10, and the Model X staying at 8. The Cybertruck's actually moving down from 47 to 44, but the Cybertruck is by far the most searched about Tesla product over the past 1, 2, 12 months, doesn't really matter what time frame you're looking at. The Cybertruck has dominated Google Trends, so I don't really think that says much at all. So with that said, let me know what you think about all of this information down below in the comment section. In the next video, we will be going over what to expect tomorrow with the data and with the earnings that we will get. With that said, you guys have a great rest of your day. Stay safe out there, and I will see you in the next one.